let's have a little bit longer event. Okay, so today's event is going to be about happiness. Maybe if it's your first time in TOE, which we nicely call it, Theory of Everything, welcome to Theory of Everything. If it's your first time, I'm going to tell you about the format. There's Mendes and me, we are co-hosts, and every week we choose a topic that is interesting to us. It's summertime, so we're a little bit lazy, so it's been like a couple of weeks I couldn't log into, and yeah, we were just lazy, to be honest with you. So we discuss interesting topics, and it's an open floor. We encourage people to express their opinions, because I think when we have this personal contact, I personally do, when we have this contact, we can allow different opinions to exist, and then later it expands our mindset, the way we think. So I think that's why it's a pretty cool space where people can have totally different opinions, but we all help each other to be a little bit better by sharing. Hey, Mardella Swar, I'm happy to see you again.
Wow.
Yeah. So my friends are back. I'm very happy to see new people and to always recognize old friends. Franklin, thanks for to adding me as a friend. So hold on, let me enable the hand raise function. Does everybody know how to use hand raise? Okay, participation, allow hand raises. So on your emoji circle, you have a hand up, and also on your right, you're supposed to have a raise hand function. So if you do that, I'm gonna see you on the panel, so I can give you a megaphone and everybody can hear you. Otherwise, you'll be heard only by your neighbors. Okay, so enough introduction, let's get going. So I wanted to talk to people about happiness, because this is, I think, in my opinion, when people talk about their dreams and they want to have a car or a big house in, I don't know where, like on some tropical island or something, they always talk about the things that they think are going to bring them happiness. But I think the main thing that we should think about is actually the happiness itself. And I was wondering what you guys think, and what is happiness for you, how to improve your life to have more happiness in your life, what is important for being happy. So if does anybody want to start a conversation? If not, I'm gonna ask Paul, my old friend, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
What do you think about happiness? I've seen your homework. You've done a lot of more homework than I did about happiness. So what was your research results?
Well, I can tell you what doesn't make you happy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for example, everybody thinks Bill Gates is tremendously successful. Everybody wants to be Bill Gates. But if you look at the work he put in, he did, 16 hours a day, 7 days a week for God knows how many years to get where he was. Last year, he got divorced from his wife, Melinda.
Yeah, Melinda. Mm-hmm.
So, comparing yourself to others, you say, oh, well, this guy, I'd like to be this guy or that woman, or I think, as somebody said, it's best to compare yourself with what you were yesterday rather than what somebody else is, because you never know what's behind their curtain, so to speak, what's hidden.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. In the dark side of things.
Gratitude is one thing that would
Definitely
make you happy.
Mm-hmm,
Not
mm-hmm.
comparing yourself with others.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Having enough to live on. But you raised a question the other day, what would you do with $7 million?
Yep.
Somebody said, well, I'd try to get more money. I mean, that's never ending, is it?
Yes, that's a they say hedonic adaptation. I think that's what they call it. Like whatever joy you have, you enjoy it only in the beginning, and then you adapt. And the same level of things doesn't provide the same level of happiness as it used to. And that's why the more you start, the more money you make, the more needs you start having, and that's like a never-ending circle. Okay, anybody wants to continue? Do you have any thoughts on that? Would you like to take a lead? Mardella Swar, you're also experienced participant of TOE. Would you like to add stuff? There you go. Mm-hmm.
At least for me,
Mm-hmm.
happiness is not something I'm constantly feeling. It
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
comes and goes. I mean, life is, got too many different facets to it to be happy all the time. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the Constitution of the United States says the pursuit of happiness. Well, that's tells me that that you're not expected to be happy all the time. I mean, certain things make me happy, but I don't walk around in a state of perpetual happiness. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I try to just adjust to whatever situation I'm in. I mean, being with my granddaughter and my son, that makes me happy. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, but like I just went out and bought a new car. I'm not happy about it. I mean, I needed another car, and it's not something I'm happy about. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a possession.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So
if you enjoy
happiness is,
it, it makes you happy. Why not?
you know what?
Ask
I've
my
had it for
husband.
2 weeks, and I bet I haven't put 100 miles on it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's just,
Mm-hmm.
it's a nice car and all that, but it's just a car. I mean,
Tell that to my husband.
now to be,
He's been
uh,
so happy with this old car that we bought. Oh, it's so amazing. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. He's like, oh my goodness. He's like a
okay. I
yeah.
mean, yeah, everybody's different.
Mm-hmm. Paul, you
I
lost your
mean,
hen. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, I've had cars that I wish I had back, but
It's back. Uh huh.
uh, happiness is not something that I don't
Builds
know. It's just
happiness,
not
right?
something that I don't experience it all the time. I mean, I try to make the
Mm-hmm.
best of whatever situation I'm in
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
dealing with or whatever. But it's
Mm-hmm.
it's, it's kind of fleeting. I mean, it's something you try to get, but can't. At least for me, I don't know about anybody else, but I don't walk around in a state of perpetual happiness. I just try to do the best I can with whatever situation I'm in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. A wise solution. Yeah, as they say. Was it a Buddhist saying that say like do the maximum that you can for your potential where you are with what you have, and that's it. Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
That's a very good point that you actually raised. The state of happiness is, what is it? Like, is it a mindset? Is it a set of things that you have, like a checklist of things that you have? Is it
Maybe.
a
Yeah.
physical sensation? Is it something perpetual, or maybe something that is temporary? That's an interesting question. Let's talk about it. Hi there, Cornelius. I'm very happy to see you too. So from the other side, so I feel like I'm surrounded with friends, which actually is. Would you like to answer? I know you're a little bit late, but we're just starting. So, what do you think is happiness? Maybe do you have any answers to these questions that I mentioned? What is a happiness in your definition? Let me give you a megaphone. There.
Hello. Hello.
Hey. Yes, I'm
Hello.
so happy to see you. I haven't seen you for like a month or so.
Yeah.
Summertime.
Well, that's a difficult question. I know for a fact that happiness is a thing that you need to use,
Mm-hmm.
that you need to practice.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that you are happy or. eh, But I don't know what's happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It's like practicing yoga, practicing
it,
happiness,
it, it,
like yoga.
yeah, exactly. I think it has to do for me with creativity.
Mm-hmm. I was
Like,
just going to say, for
I
those of
always know that
yeah.
when you do projects with friends,
Mm-hmm.
that makes me, well, that's the thing that makes me more happy, right? With my family. Like if you don't do projects like creative projects, for me, my life is very dull if I'm not doing something creative.
Ah, good point. To have a creative, I would say that creative is used when people talk about music or art or things like these. But to me, creative means like when you produce something, like an emotion or help or something physical that
Yeah.
people can touch. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. For those of you who don't know Cornelius, It's my good friend, and we met at these events like Theory of Everything, and Cornelius showed me. And while we had this like within a year, he created a few interesting places here in AltSpace, like different worlds. So it's Soundscape and Labirinto, and what else? What was the name of that last project? Like the navigation space, the neurons.
Which one?
Neurons. Yes. Oh, yes. Meditation space. Thanks to Apollo. So yeah, you can check out his worlds, and maybe I'll be happy to show you around, or maybe if Cornelius is here, I actually bring some excursions to your places. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna show you this place and then next place. So people enjoy it a lot. So yeah, thanks for sharing. It's a creative existence, I would say. It's not only about maybe creativity. I agree with you on that point. I think for me, it's also super important to create something, to do something that matters, little or large. Like that's why I chose teaching. I teach, well, I'm a tutor of English, but still it's a creative work. But when you bring some more knowledge into the world, so I see it as constructive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Teaching is incredible when you meet with your own students and
Yes,
you see
best part.
how they like. Oh, it's just amazing. Yeah.
Yes, and you think, oh,
Beautiful.
I'm so proud of you. Yeah. Yes, exactly. When you don't have kids, I think it's educating other kids is actually very fulfilling. I don't have my own kids. Maybe that's why I don't have them. My need is served. So anyway, so anybody? Oh, I see some hand raises. I would love to give you a megaphone finally to hear some new people. Paige, is that you? Why, Paige? Let me give you a megaphone right now so everybody can hear you. You heard how hard it is to hear when people are far away. There you go.
Can you guys hear me? I think I'm on.
Whoopsies. You lost your chance. Let me give you a megaphone. Hold on. And there you are.
Okay.
Yes.
So, I think, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think happiness might be, maybe an idea. I don't know. I don't think that happiness is, like you guys are talking about, like fleeting joy, and then what you're talking about is doing something together. I really believe that the connection, whether it's creating, whether it's communicating, whether it's sitting beside each other when something is hard, I don't know, but I think that connection is important to happiness. Or I'm going to change the word, the way that I say it is maybe contentness. Like, just I'm here and I'm good with this or whatever. But the whole thing is interesting because every time I'm in one of these things, I talk about my son, but I'm a single mom of an 8-year-old, so it just comes up.
Bring it
all the
on.
time.
Bring it on. That's what I love about
But
this
he is,
space.
you know, yeah, you just meet everyone and they have different things. But my son this morning, lately, well, first of all, he's annoyed with every single thing I say and do. Everyone sees
Teenagers.
that my 8-year-old is like,
Oh.
he is like a preteen.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. But there's
Too
that.
early.
So this morning he was unhappy again. And maybe you should change the word and stop using the word happy because I think it's not fair for me. Like, I think it's a little bit ambitious. I just really want him to be content, but and appreciate the fleeting, like happy moments or the that come in. But mostly we just want to be content and okay. But I know I looked at him this morning and I told him, Harrison, like if you want to learn how to be happy, I can teach you. Right now, I can teach you. I need you to hold on. Let's take a breath. Like, look at me. Because there's really nothing, like there's only good that's happening around us right now, but we just really have to look at it. But he's 8, so he was like, get away from me. So did not happen. But I'm hoping one day that he'll, and also I'm speaking that way because I'm happy right now or content right now, but sometimes when I'm not, it's not as easy as that. Sometimes whenever I'm not content, it's like the struggle or the pursuit of happiness. And that's a really hard pursuit because I think that we don't appreciate what's in front of us sometimes, or I don't always appreciate things around me. So I'm really trying to focus on that and not strive for this like grand thing. Just really appreciate the grand things that are right here And that's not always easy, but I think that that's critical. And I mean that when I say right here, I mean you guys, I mean my son, I mean the sun. You know, I don't mean anything other than humans and nature and animals probably or art. You know what I mean? Like the sort of less, I don't
Pretentious.
know, more figurative. I know humans are not figurative, but almost more figurative because if I connect with you, I just knock my monster on my couch. I'm just gonna let it pour out. But anyway, struggling now because my monster is pouring out on my couch. So, yeah, that's all I have to say.
I like your
I
expression.
think Paige raised a good question. The difference between happiness, which sounds a bit like a dopamine hit, and contentment or satisfaction. I mean, as I think, was it Mick Jagger had the song "I Can't Get No Satisfaction"? I think.
I can't get no. Yeah, right? That one? Yeah, look, dancing, singing, horse fox. Yes. Oh, I have a lot of hand raises, a lot of good thoughts. That's what I love this event for, because people share their thoughts, and I think, yeah, this is exactly what I think. Oh, I think this is different. And when you said, like, when you try to chase it, pursuit, for happiness happens just a chase. Like that's why I like this a couple of expressions that English has, like enjoy the journey, not the destination. I think this is one of the best things to describe, like that you will be more content if you think about now. And another thing that I thought about is like, yeah, I think I agree with Paul that we actually brought this these two words up, like happiness and contentment. I also imagine it as a like, you know, different states. Like contentment is like more of a neutral long-term state, as if like it's a reservoir with energy, and happiness is like those spikes that you have, like for example when you have like good days and bad days. So everybody likes good days, but it seems like there's balance there, and when you have happy days, next time you have sad days to balance that out. So I think that contentment is that constant level, and happiness is just like a fluctuation of events and feelings. Okay, that was my 5 cents there. And next is James Mann. Let me give you a megaphone. It takes me a little bit longer because normally Mendes is here and he's helping, so we could do more. Okay. James Mengan. Okay, there you go. What would you like to share with us? Mengan Dup. Oh my goodness, my panel just covers half of the name. Are you there? I'm trying to give you a megaphone, but didn't work. Oh. And he's gone. Okay. He's shy, I guess. Okay. Esoteric student. Frederick Stewart, right? Esoteric student? Oh, okay. No, it's just esoteric student.
Hello.
Hey.
I think back to what Paige says. My attention span is as fleeting as the happy moments, and the only way I can combat it is by doing lots of different things and just listening to my instincts and my guts, and just trying to feel okay. And I think true happiness and contentment is doing what comes natural to you, with your instincts and urges, in a positively. Just listening to yourself.
And is it just listening and feeling, or is it more of listening to yourself and doing something that sounds right, feels right?
Doing the things that come natural to you, and following your gut. When you've got those gut feelings.
I got a question for you. When do you feel this gut feeling? Do you have some practices? I always call it an emotional first aid. It's like a little box where you have some, things that you know that for sure it's going to make you feel good. Like I like to take a bicycle ride at night when I have like good music in my ears. That's one of my happy moments. And like, do you have some things like these? A question for everybody, by the way.
I think when you become used to a degree of negativity and the anxiety and negative emotions that come with it, you're going to end up finding yourself and being like, no, you know what? I'm just going to do what I want to do. Fuck everyone else.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I'm not. I don't want to feel the anxiety or negativity or being pulled down or being unhappy. So just start cutting everything out that causes those until you're left with the things that you want to do.
Yeah, can you share those things that you would like to do?
Um,
Mhm.
Well, I mean, not really. It's a bit
Ah, okay.
personal, but
Sure, okay.
but the idea.
No pushing.
Uh,
Got it. But a question for everybody: if you want to share what your practices are, maybe somebody's gonna find that practice really useful. I'm a terrible, I'm not artistic at all, and I didn't have any practice with painting. But just today, I went into the park. This is my thing. I like to go into a nice place where there's water. It should be a river, or maybe a green tree park, something that massages my eyes. And I actually had a present from my friends. They presented me some water colors, and I'm terrible at painting, to be honest with you. But I took the little page with me, and a little notebook and paints, and just went outside. And every time I go outside, I make a little picture of a place where I am. So it's it's just my time where I really think it's when I enjoy my time. So one of the new practices that I have.
Did you?
I get you now.
Did,
Okay.
Yeah, like little happy moments that help sometimes.
Yeah, I get you. Log in, started meditating.
See?
Started to eat better. I always learning, continue learning of instruments and guitar.
Cool. So it's
yeah,
not a coincidence that you have a similar haircut with Cornelius. You're both into music, I guess.
Did you?
Yeah. Did you feel the same? Did you want to just not associate as being anything that could be context as human? That's why I kind of went with a genie kind of look. I thought, well, yeah. I thought, well,
I love to
Has he?
see different avatars. Yeah.
Did you paint a picture of a cloud that looked like a boa constrictor eating an elephant?
Yeah, I actually thought it looked more like a snake or a dragon. Yeah. When I get to another practice, by the way, I have a little balcony. It's too little for chairs and tables, and my husband is afraid of heights, so he never goes out. I love going outside, and it's like a third floor or fourth floor, so it's pretty high. But I actually came up with an idea. I took a hammock and I put it in my balcony, and I love it so much. Like every time I go out, it's just you look into the sky and lie there. So it's a really cool place, my little place that I like. And I just spent 20 minutes just looking into the sky, following the clouds, which is very strange for me because I do everything very fast and my schedule is always packed, and I listen to the videos triple sound speed and stuff. So it was a nice change of rhythm, I guess, to just look into the sky and find some dragons and snakes there. Okay, so I have some more hand raises. Let me give you some more freedom to speak. Cornelius, okay, you're next. And Paul also had his hand raised. Paul, you do have a megaphone, right, Paul? So you can just jump right in. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just the one thing that I forgot to say is that when we grow, I don't know why we lost this ability to play.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's crazy, right? And when you were talking about the bicycle, I think the bicycle is perhaps the most amazing human invention.
It is, and it's so new, actually. I was so shocked. It's bicycle was invented later than cars or something. That was some strange factoid about it.
Yeah, but you just get in your bike and you instantly feel freedom, right? It's just amazing. instant, like
Yeah, music.
instantaneous. And when you're talking about your hammock, well, I have my hammock in my bike, so I go to a park and I hang my hammock.
Nice
And yeah,
combo
so
of both. And you make music there, right? Play music. That would be triple combo. Paul, what about your hand raise? Would you like to
Yeah.
say anything?
Um, I want to say something about achievements. I mean, for example, I believe Neil Armstrong, he enjoyed the journey going to the moon, he walked on the moon, he came back and ended up depressed. I think it was Neil Armstrong.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than that, right? You've been
Yeah.
to the moon. Nothing is. Is it? Yeah,
And
this
also, of
is.
course, once you achieve something, there's a psychologist sitting on a plane, and behind him he heard somebody say, "Oh, I'm worthless. I don't want to go living on anymore." He's saying to his wife, and then when he got off the plane, the pilot said to this man, "Oh, hello, you're my childhood hero. You're so famous," and he was one of the most famous people in the world. So
Interesting.
same
Yeah,
with achievements.
it's a good point. I think it's like a peak. Like I said, like happiness is like a wave function. And that's a little bit scary to me that once you learn how high you can get, wordplay, how high you can get, it's difficult to get back to this content level because the spike was too large, and that's why it drops you into this depressive state sometimes. As I said, like for balance. So how do you overcome that? Is it why we lose this ability to be simply happy, sincerely happy when we are kids? We just do stuff and enjoy. Is it because we have this experience that accumulates and we constantly compare things to what happened? Oh, I used to live better than this, and that's why you don't fully feel happy. I can say that about myself. 4 years ago, I think I had more opportunities, more things. I know that I'm getting better, that I have like a lot of internal work and improvement, but at the same time there's like this nasty voice in my head that says, oh, it's been better and now it's getting worse. And that's why I think comparison is a thief of joy. I also like to use this expression. Okay, let's see, do we have some new hand raises? Yeah, Akshay, I'm sorry I don't see your full name, but let me give you a megaphone. Are you from India, based on your word? I mean, your name, sorry. There you go. Do you have a megaphone?
Yeah, so the theory of everything, that means that you mean the Stephen Hawking's theory?
Now, I like the play of words. I think we chose the name theory of everything because we couldn't choose what exactly we're going to talk about. So we decided to have this name so that way every week we could choose some different topic. But yes, we are fond of physics and like a scientific approach. So that's another wordplay hidden there.
Okay, so based on my research on Stephen Hawking's theory, so I understood this world is a kind of dust. So if you see any thing in your hand, like if you see the water, there is a molecule, right? So in the molecule there will be atoms, and in the atoms there will be small particles, right?
Yeah.
So based upon my understanding, this world is something inside that small particle. So we don't know the extension of the solar system, right? So we don't know the end of this solar system. So this is my understanding about this world, and there may be many more many thing outside the world, and so yeah.
I would love to talk about more about these gluons and neutrons and all that, about quantum physics. I love it. But today, the meeting that we have today is mostly about the happiness. So we were talking about the happiness. I know you're a little bit late, but how can you share your opinion? What is happiness for you?
Okay, so happiness in terms of like what if you get whatever you want, and without any such a kind of uh, disturbance or any intermediary like amounts or cash. So if you need anything, if you get it, you will be happy, right? So, and if you
I'm not
help
so
someone,
sure.
you will be happy.
Yeah, this is exactly what we were talking about.
How to say it? Okay.
Like achievements are not always happiness, I think, because when you achieve something and there's no problem, it makes you happy. But like once you get to the new level, to the new goal, I think you come back again to the same circle, and it's like a race that you are never gonna win. But I agree with you. It's like it's something that brings me happiness too when you have goals and you are able to achieve them. That's like more of a Western approach, I would say. Uh, Paul, did you lose your megaphone?
I think Kumar. Yeah,
Hold on.
I think Kumar said helping others. Did you say Kumar? Something about helping others?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
The pleasure in helping others rather than being helped. They say it's more gives you more joy
Oh,
to
cool.
help others and actually be helped.
I see a lot of reaction from Norse Fox, so it's time to give you a megaphone finally. Okay, there. Body movement. I love VR for seeing people's body language. That's good.
That is perfect for what I was saying because I find that the one thing, well, I mean there's many things that make me happy, but I think the one thing that makes me like the definition of happy is helping others. And I actually found this what is it called, a YouTube video or YouTube channel, and it's called Thariah Morency or something like that. And she's a girl that like goes around and like does questions, like deep questions to strangers, and they have like the option to answer anonymously or like just to answer
Truth or
as
dare?
them. And I just find different people's answers like so like just like mind-boggling because it's like we're all different people, we're not the same. And so it just helps me, be happy to like, I don't know, I just love learning about people. And then there's also this one thing
Same here.
that this other girl does. She just goes around, I think it's on TikTok or something. She just goes around and like writes really nice notes or like, like
You're
just in
beautiful,
or
something.
something, and just
Yeah.
gives it to random people. Yeah.
Like, I
And
love you,
then
right? Is she
and
gone?
yes. Yeah. And then she just walks away. She doesn't need that like confirmation from them that like they're happy. She just gives it to them and walks away. And like I just find that like so wholesome.
Cool, yeah. Can you repeat the channel names so we can check them out?
Yeah.
Maybe message me. If you message me, that's going to be perfect. I can message the
Sure.
rest of the
Sure, yeah, I can definitely do
room.
that.
Thanks. Sure. Yeah, let me give you a megaphone. Hold on. You want to ask Kumar? He certainly hears you, but what about us? We want to hear you too. There.
Okay. Yeah. I was going to say, I believe in India there's a woman called the hugging saint. Yeah. She all just goes around and hugs people, similar to what Norse Fox was saying. Jack, have you heard of her? The hugging saint? Oh, he's gone. Put him on the spot.
Do you mean like a hugging saint? It's like, is it a religious person or just a?
Well, she just goes around hugging people.
Oh, cool. Free hugs.
Oh, I've seen that on TikTok, or I've seen a version of it on TikTok.
Yeah, it's been around for, this trend has been around for a while, I think. Okay, so
There's
Paige.
one
Go ahead. Keep talking.
oh, sorry. Just another quick thing. I saw there was one that said "hug me" or something, and then there was this woman that came up to him, and she was like, "Thank you for this. My son just killed himself, and I really needed this because there was no one in her social circle to like help her out." So I don't know. I just find helping people just so like
Fulfilling.
wholesome. Yeah, fulfilling. Yeah.
Yeah, I like this word, wholesome and awesome. Wholesome, it sounds the same. Rhymes. Paige, I've seen your hand raise, and I'm trying to give you a megaphone. So once you confirm it, it's gonna be there. There. Very, very polite of you.
So I forgot that I'd raised it. I think what I was thinking about earlier was just that one of the things about achievement too is that when we're working towards a goal, and I find this in my life a lot. Like I always have like a light at the end of the tunnel,
Mm,
right?
mhm,
And
mhm.
and that can be I'm working towards. I used to be in the Air Force. I was in the United States Air Force, and so you get to a place and you're there for like a year or 2 years, and so you're never able to always what's happening next. Where am I going to live next? Where am I going next? And so I feel like I never got or never knew to or thought to like look at now again. And when I'm working towards achievements, I need to get the certification. I want to, submit this into a competition. I want to do whatever. It's still working towards the future. And I think that we lose the beauty of the art or the experience or something whenever we do that. And I think that working towards achievements is like really important, especially, I mean, it depends on where you live in the world. But I know like my son's gonna have to work his butt off. And most of us probably do too. And so that's maybe just sort of like a part of survival. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I think that working towards achievements is healthy if we remember the journey instead of just continually looking for the light at the end of the tunnel, which I think I spent, a good 25 of my years doing. And I think it's just, I'm trying not to do that anymore. I'm trying not to work, like I still work hard and I work towards achievements and sometimes I achieve things, but they just sort of like happen because what I was doing then, not, I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense.
It does. It
But I
does.
think that that's important
Mm-hmm.
anyway. Because
Yeah.
if you're just working towards the achievement, then once you get to the achievement, then you're done, and it's like the emptiness again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
That's what I meant. Uh-huh. Esoteric student, would you like to have a megaphone?
Sorry, I was just saying to Paige that is it personal development essentially?
I think that's a good way to look at it, especially if we're able to recognize the benefits that are happening now, or maybe.
Yeah, let's move into the smaller circle.
For now.
There's just 8 of us, so.
We'll get into a smaller circle. Yeah, I keep muting myself or doing it. I'm sorry.
That's fine. You're very polite. Thanks. Yeah.
Sorry, but yeah, I think that self-development is really good if we can recognize it in the moment too, and if we take that as the gain instead of this hard to achieve. We're missing the benefit of what we're doing if we're only focusing on the result.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what I meant.
And I
Honestly,
think,
I
no,
think
you go first.
I think what Paige said originally about the contentment, and then where you've come in, Ross, with the helping people, and with the personal development aspect you've just mentioned, I think I've heard happiness summed up better than a million books have probably tried to.
Yeah, that's why I like these events, because every person that says some nice ideas, you share it with the group. So like all who's in a room actually takes that into account and starts thinking in a different way. So that's why I love these events.
I want to talk about the educational system.
Yeah, let's do it. I love since we're in education.
Yeah. The thing that bothers me is that you grade the student, or you are graded as a student below 10, right? So that makes a sense that you are, if you don't get that 10, that you are not perfect. That it always creates in you like a sense that you are not achieving things. And other thing that the system has is this free time, right? Like you go to classes and then you have how do you say when you are have time to play?
Recess, or recess is when they go play.
Break.
Yeah.
Daytime.
Yes.
Dinner times.
Yeah, so that's a good thing, because that talking about what you were saying, that in life you need to achieve things, but sometimes you lose this thing that you need time for you to enjoy, and that in that case I think the education system is kind of okay, because trying to balance that, right? But of course, like the way that we are grading kids is crazy, especially for kids as my kids are have ADHD. Oh my God, it's so much pressure. It's just incredible.
That's my problem.
Academic
Severe
grading.
ADHD.
They're not graded on
Same.
kindness. Then.
Yeah, I think exactly. I think that VR has a lot of ADHD people, and we're too hyper. I'm not diagnosed, but I have a feeling that when I get to the group, I'm like, this is exactly what I feel. Isn't that? Yeah. So I start thinking about the probably used to have, or maybe in some insignificant, maybe like what was it? Stage, whatever. Yes, nice, nice. Okay, so Mendes is not coming. He's a little bit busy today, so we're going. Oh, what's this? Is it still working? Yay! It worked. Oh, I'm sorry, it was too loud. Oh, Mendes. So, you finally came here, Mr. Magic Man, Mr. Savage. There you go. It's back to normal. How did you do that? Magic.
I ran my own copy.
What?
Ah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it didn't work because the.
Copy than the original one. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's maxed out. So I think I
Whoa.
shared my copy with you, just so you know.
Oh, really? Yeah, I gotta do that. It is,
Hello,
isn't it?
everybody. Welcome to Theory of Everything.
Now I know that everybody's from America. Look at this. Look at this. It's like a hedgehog.
I'm not.
Holy American Day, guys.
You're not, but yeah, exactly. I hear. Where are you from?
What is Cornelia doing?
Canada?
When the message come up.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know that.
Vancouver.
Ah, got it. Scott is where? Australia?
Oh, nice.
No, yeah, I like this little tool. That's why I put it into the design of the world. But it keeps breaking. That's why we need to wait for Mendes to do his magic.
Yeah.
That's why there are two of us.
I'll make sure I share the version that I got with you.
Yeah.
Self-hosted.
Uh-huh. Oh, Scott, where are you right now? Is it Thailand or something? Cambodia. Oh, cool.
Wow. Dang.
Tell us about
That's so
Cambodia.
far.
Yeah. Let me give you a megaphone. Share about your whatever. Come on, you're in Cambodia. I think anything is gonna be interesting.
Know about Cambodia. I'm not Cambodian, but I do live here. I'm working here.
Uh-huh. Where you from?
What are you doing there?
What would you like to know? I'm originally from the United States.
Ah, again, Americans around the world. Oh my goodness. Taking over the world.
Are you cutting trees down or planting them?
Not cutting trees down, hopefully planting.
Okay.
Thank God.
What's the climate in Cambodia?
Subtropical, pretty hot, but we're in the middle of a rainy season, so it's not too bad.
Interesting. How long have you been there?
It's very interesting.
About 2 years now.
Oh, yeah, 2 full seasons. Good. Does it have any seasons, by the way?
Rainy and dry.
Rainy and dry. My goodness, it breaks my brain.
How's the food over there, man?
Food is great.
Delicious.
Food is great. You like Thai, it's like Thai food and Chinese food and Vietnamese food,
Yeah, book tickets to Cambodia.
all combined.
Yeah. Yeah,
Are you
put that on
working
my
for an
bucket list.
NGO?
Uh-huh.
Are
Great
you
place.
working for a non-government organisation, NGO?
Yeah, well, actually, I work for the
Non-profit?
U.S. government.
Non-profit?
Oh.
Are you a spy?
Government.
Yo.
I am not.
Whoa.
I am not.
Yeah, do people ask you,
I'm-
local people?
Hey, nice to meet you, Scott Bond.
What's that?
I was making a James Bond joke reference.
Oh no.
Did I smash it on my first 2 sentences to him?
Okay.
Planting or chopping? US government.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
making a really bad joke.
No, please do,
Is there a
please do.
general theme or
That's
topic
worse
for
than
It's
this?
a British humor, I guess.
We're discussing.
Did I smash it in the first 2 questions?
Happiness. What is happiness?
Okay, what is
Good to know.
happiness?
Yeah. I like how Paul keeps it, keeps it to the to the score. Like it's happiness, so we should talk about happiness. So what is happiness today? Oh, hold on a second. Did you make yourself? Yeah.
Are you muted? Are you muted?
I think
I'm not muted.
There.
I don't think so.
Yes,
No,
you're
not.
back. You're back. Mhm.
Okay.
No, it's the government listening in. Hold on.
Exactly. I'm from Russia, so of course it's listening to you.
No. I'm a lowly bureaucrat employee.
Papers, just papers.
Thank you for everyone's
Reactions.
fantastical illusion of that. Thank you.
I was government before, and I know it's okay. I know that.
Are we instantly committing treason talking to you?
Not at all. No.
Yeah. So what do you think happiness is, Scott? How'd you get there?
Wow, very esoteric. What is happiness?
It's a big word.
I
Don't
don't know.
forget, everyone change your
can we
usernames after
is it a quantifiable thing, or is it just an emotion? I think being happy is being content with life.
That's exactly
Good.
what Paige was saying.
Yes, you see? Yay, synchronization. I like it. Yeah. I think also I'm going to add a couple of... Yeah. Okay.
As,
What about...
a French Prime Minister's wife said,
Mhm.
what is happiness?
What is a woman?
Every time I hear that, I keep thinking that, and I keep thinking of that song. Happiness.
Happiness.
People can agree upon that.
Okay. Okay, Marta Laswar, I see your hand raised. Would you like to have some more comments on happiness?
Keep it while you can.
Or did you forget what you were going to say?
You should have it. No, you just had it. Yeah, it says you
Well,
have
I
a
don't-
megaphone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't particularly think we're supposed to be happy all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's hard to. I think it would be harder to be happy if you didn't realize that there's the other side of the story. You know, the other side of the coin.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
Mm-hmm.
So, the pursuit of happiness is what I think we're supposed to be aiming for. I mean, you
The
have
journey.
your down moments, and then you at least you have something to compare it to. I mean, I don't know if I'm making any sense there, but
You do.
if I didn't have my down moments, I wouldn't appreciate and be happy when things are good,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or when I feel like they're good. So
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
know,
Oh, by the way,
kind of my take on that.
yeah. By the way, since you have a microphone, how is your comedy show? Do you still go to comedy shows here? Every single time.
I think.
Yeah, I see it on the schedule now. I'm thinking, oh, Marta Laswar must be there. I gotta get there. It's 3 a.m. for 3 or 4 a.m. for me, so it's too early. So maybe can I ask you to if you can record it?
Week, but I had to take a break.
Yeah, I got it. But
My kid
next
was up and
next time if you can record it, that would be amazing. In your headset, you have this function.
I don't know how to do that.
In your headset, you actually have this function, share. When you click on a little invisible button on one of your controllers, the menu, like overlay menu, where you hit quit. There, you can have like a little video camera sign. So if you click it and it becomes red, it starts, it starts recording.
Okay, I'll try that next time.
Yeah. So the recording is going to be.
See it from your perspective on stage.
Yeah, and I would love to see some of it, any of it.
I have sometimes a pretty X-rated act. I mean, I talk about.
Bring it on. Bring it on. Bring it on.
Bring it on.
Yes.
Okay, I'm trying to tone it down.
We're a tough bunch, so yeah.
Okay.
Just
Yeah, I've
excited
been
to.
warned. I mean, that's all.
Yeah, I got it. We take the responsibility for the consequences.
Okay.
Yeah, psychological trauma.
I think as Mark said,
Mhm.
I might as well say, overcoming difficulty gives a sense of achievement,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't know what's pleasant without the unpleasant. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think, as
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
were saying, and appreciate the up unless you've been down. It
Yep.
would
Right.
just be the same, wouldn't it? Oh, this is how it always is. It'd be
Oops.
boring.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
I think the relationship between suffering and happiness is a a delicate one, right? Because if we
Mm-hmm.
didn't know, like you said, if we didn't know that suffering or that sadness, then how will we ever find happiness, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And different people experience it differently as well. Okay, Paige had her hand raised, so I gave her a megaphone, so she's patiently waiting for everybody to finish. That's really polite.
It's okay. Again,
Nice
like
job.
everything happens over here. So my son came over and was asking me questions, so I muted myself.
What
And I
questions?
almost don't even remember what I was gonna say. It was over here. It's when you were talking. I love it when you come to FTR. I've watched you and you're really funny.
Woohoo.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm so okay. Yeah, okay. I know what I was thinking. So
Mm-hmm.
earlier, I like this because I'm also ADD, so I have to make sure that I'm remembering. So esoteric was saying like self-development, and then we were saying helping people,
Mm-hmm.
and then we were saying what was the other?
Mm.
I have to remember
Achievements?
these, or I'm gonna screw it up.
Achievements?
Don't. So for me, like focusing on the now, like like enjoying instead of
Mm-hmm.
enjoying the now as I go towards achievements. If that's what I'm doing,
Smelling the roses?
connecting with people,
Gratitude.
absolutely.
I think we said. Did we say
But yeah, I
gratitude?
don't remember what my comment was going to be. I'm sorry, my son came over. I'll just say, if I go back
That's
to
fine.
what you were saying, Cornelius, my son has ADD or ADHD, and it just runs in my family, and we're just that's how we roll. But when COVID happened, the schools here, we moved here in 2020, and when COVID started, he got pulled out of kindergarten, and then we moved to Charleston, South Carolina, and they opened the schools up to 25%.
Mm-hmm.
So my son didn't get a seat, and because I'm a single mom and I just gotten a new job and I was working at home, and I mean he'd been pulled out of kindergarten, we'd been stuck together and moved from Hawaii to South Carolina together during a plague. So I did not feel like it would be healthy for him to be in my house all day while I was working from home. It just did not seem safe or
Mm-hmm.
good or
Mm-hmm.
anything for either one of us. So they had a Montessori school, and I put him in that in downtown Charleston because they had an opening. And we don't do
Oh
tests
wow.
or grades.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like he's 8 years old now. I didn't pull him out the next year because I didn't want him to go to 3 schools in 3 years.
Right.
Um, his classroom is 6 years old to 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like 13 students. But it's weird to me about I'm so glad that he's not beating himself up on these grades, right? Because he doesn't get them. He doesn't even know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm
But you,
curious if I
you
took him
should.
into if I tried to put him into a public school, would they give him like a standardized test? And I don't think he's ever taken a real test before. So now I think I need to
Wow.
get him to like just like this school goes to 5th grade. I think by 5th or 6th grade he would be mature enough to understand you have to sit there and really fill in these bubbles. Like that's literally what we're asking you to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even think he could do that right now because he's just had zero training on it. It's really it's a weird thing. But I am glad he doesn't beat himself up because he beats himself up about everything else. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's a
Mm-hmm.
very big thing that people with ADD do.
Yeah,
You know,
lifting
they,
off some pressure. That's what we need, I think.
yeah, he
I
already.
think.
But I don't remember what I was actually going to say. What I was actually going to say was not that. I don't remember what it was.
That's fine. What important is your input. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Hey,
So
Cornelius.
I had a question.
Yeah. Uh huh.
Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead,
I
Cornelius.
I think that the problem with the grade system is that it take for me at least when I was at the school it took out the joy of learning things
Mm-hmm.
like
Right.
it's just so horrible like it made things
Yeah.
horrible.
I mean,
I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
one minute you're playing and enjoying yourself, the next minute you've got to sit down at the desk for 6 hours a day. And you
Yeah,
like to dream out the window. I just dreamt out the window. That's what this is. There's Paul again, dreaming out the window.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A lot of school is a bait and switch. I feel like and then just like just like I don't set goals because if I don't reach my goal, I feel like I'm a failure. So instead, I just don't set goals. That's a lot of what the education is. They put these tests, and once you don't, you talk down to yourself. Oh, I'm dumb. I'm stupid. After you failure, so school was a big hindrance to my happiness growing up.
It also,
Interesting.
I was a good test taker, and so I didn't. For some reason, I was a good test taker, and
Flew under the
so I
radar.
didn't have. There was not a focus on me to make sure that I was actually learning or comprehending, and
Hmm.
I had a really, as far as test taking was concerned, I thought I was pretty smart. you know, um, oh my gosh, I'm not meant to be talking. My TV just like turned on its own.
Poltergeist. Was it as a
What that is?
Yeah,
Oh
a
yeah.
my
I
gosh.
thought
ghost?
a party walked into
It,
your
I did
room.
not do that. I'm turning it off. Holy cow! But
Alexa.
the world doesn't want me to be happy.
Mm. Come back to us. Come back to us. It's gonna be
Oh
easier.
my gosh, that
Yeah.
like
We
blew
can't
me
hear
up
Scott.
here.
That's fine.
Oh,
You're
one
doing
thing
Joe.
people who
Yeah.
don't test well or don't test well, who are my sister didn't test well, and she worked, and she still works so much harder, and she knows she needs to work to get somewhere, and do things. And I don't have a lot of grit sometimes, I think, and it's because the value wasn't placed on making sure that I was learning things or that I was growing. It was making sure that
Right.
I could pass this test, and I was good at that. I could remember facts, but like comprehending and molding and looking at implications and understanding context and deriving other thoughts and beliefs from it or whatever. Um, I
Comprehending,
learned
right?
comprehending. I learned that more as an adult,
Building the
so
links.
Right.
I could spit out facts, but I wasn't really able to apply them to the world around me. And I think that so that's another thing where test taking can beat up people who are doing really well and they're thinking a lot harder about this stuff than I am, and they can feel really bad about themselves, and then it can prop up other kids who can just memorize facts and do this, but still not be growing. And so yeah, I'm not a big fan
You
of
don't
tests
get a
either.
test in effective daydreaming, do you? Anyway, I feel like
Unfortunately.
am I on top of the world?
You're on top of the world. Yes, you are. Why not? You can do that. Why not?
Yeah, Scott,
think
Scott, you
Scott-
had
Now
something to
I'm
add?
on the top of the
Yeah.
world. Let's go. Shh. Yeah.
No, I'm just listening. Thank you.
Yeah, there are a lot of hand raises. Let me check it out. Okay, it's esoteric student on, and I lost one more hand raise. It was there, but a second ago, and it's gone. There.
I think it might not just be an ADHD thing, but I think sadness is seeing what Amazon is doing to the world. Happiness is seeing that you can save 20 quid compared to the nearest website. And contentness is when it when it arrives in your hand, and then happiness repeats the same circle. So then I'll go and order something else because it makes me happy for a minute. I'm content, and then I'm back to being sad about what Amazon's doing to the world. But then I can just save another 10 quid. Next day. It's a sick cycle.
It is a very sick cycle.
Yep.
And I like
Yeah.
what you were saying about school and grades and general, and how in school we're set up to win all the time, and if you don't, then obviously there's F's, and then you feel like an absolute loser. And there's other points in, like, for me personally, I was in driver's ed trying to get my driver's license, and it was kind of, excuse my language, but fucked up, because when we were getting, because we were all in the class, obviously, and we would all have to, he would call our name and we would stand up and he'd be like, "You're accepted," or "You didn't pass." And it's like, I was one of the people that didn't pass, and just having that announced to the whole entire class just made me feel like a failure. Like I didn't, like, yeah, I put in the effort to do it, and all I did was need to try again, and then I passed. But like, that's just so, it's so wrong to like just say
Right.
you failed in front of your whole class and your peers.
Mm-hmm.
That's just
Well,
me. That's
it,
something I
it,
feel needs to change.
it
Thanks for
introduces a
sharing.
whole new level of doubt into yourself, and into your own mind.
Hmm.
I call it what I try to do, at least with my kids I work with and stuff, I call it speaking life. So instead of saying you failed, I say you need to try again. Maybe next time do something
Yes.
different.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way words are chosen and delivered to us, which affects our overall well being. So, that's always been my thought process.
Mm-hmm.
What
What
do
was that?
schools contribute towards people's life? You know what I mean? Like to actual life.
Right.
School doesn't
Well,
translate.
a lot of the educational system came from the need to have workers that was able to follow the process. So what is education? What is school? What does school really turn us into? Is it something that's empowering us, or is it something that's putting us into a little box, right, and
That's
making
what I
us fit
think.
right where they want us to fit? So
Mhm.
I've always thought about it that way,
Mm-hmm.
and I've never been good at school. Like I've always they put me out all the time, right? So I don't know. Should I be sad that I'm put out of school, or should I be happy that I don't fit inside that box, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah, I think it kind of.
Great.
Yeah, I think it's like a first step where you learn about the differences between families, between people, between like you step into the system like where you start being in rat race, like in this constant
Right.
competition between people, between all before that you just have to play and spend your time like developing, learning something about this amazing world around you, and then boom, and you step into the world where you have to be better than somebody else. You have to good grades. You have to.
Right.
Sometimes you don't have to study that much as you have to obey maybe and show good
Right.
treatment and all that. So teachers like you. Sometimes that's action, like you said about the grades, it takes away the attention from getting knowledge and getting better to just getting good grades, passing tests. And I think there's another aspect to it. Sometimes I'm not sure about different countries, but certainly I've seen that where sometimes it just like it requires you just to be a teacher's pet. That's it. Like even a pet, but like finding contact with a person in power with this authority, and
With
that.
your superior, right?
Yes, and that I think that takes away a lot of development from what is important, because some people who are good at that, they get into position where they just want to keep the power instead of doing something with that power. So
I think the most successful you can be at life is what makes you unsuccessful at school if you're defiant. Because go through life being defiant and crit power,
End up in
and
prison.
you'll end up with a lot life more experiences than you will from giving the teacher an apple. I think
As long as you don't end
you
up in
learn more.
prison with your defiance.
Yeah.
No, I don't mean like that.
Facts.
Well done out.
So I mean,
Yeah.
I think that we
Just be
always
like, no,
sorry.
don't take the word for it. Don't take people's word for it. And like it's like what I was saying earlier. Do your own thing. Go your own way. Do what makes you feel right. Yeah, what's right for
Think
you.
yourself,
Right.
you mean. Think for yourself.
And you got to have a degree of defiance to do that.
Well,
Okay.
I think when I was advancing through life, I think not being able to think for myself, or having people trying to infect my thoughts, or make me do something, is something that led to my sadness and depression. And coming out of that, having the ability to be a free thinker myself and make my own life choices, definitely is something that plays a good part in
That's a
what makes me happy
fact.
today.
That's a fact. People who have little control, they have higher rates of depression.
Oh, but I'd like to be defiant and speak up in favour of tests, not necessarily academic tests. Right? I mean, if you don't put yourself to the test, how do you know how you're doing? You know? If you don't have a driving test, you shouldn't be humiliated, yourself or others. If you don't have a driving test, you might just totally crap. You would never know it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's there for
Yeah, I
some
agree.
purpose, I guess.
Life is a test, though, isn't it?
Right. Well, I mean, I think that maybe there was a mistake when they started testing, in the way that tests are actually done fundamentally are incorrect. Maybe there's other skills that we should be testing instead of can you remember these facts, right? So
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so
what's the truth, right? Go ahead,
two
Paige.
things. Like one, I think I'm really enjoying this conversation. So I agree,
Welcome.
obviously. Like, I mean, I want my
Mm-hmm.
son to be a free thinker. And I think that he is. He's a pretty big skeptic, and I like that about him. But he also is just in the system. Here is where we live.
Mhm.
But
Mm-hmm.
and here's the system that we are in, and so to be successful here, and when I say successful, I mean I just want him to be able to have a safe home and a safe car or vehicle or transportation. If it's a bicycle, I just want to be safe, and I want him to be content and kind. I think those are like my three priorities for him. But I also do want him to be successful in the system. Like, I can't just destroy the system. I wish I could, honestly. Like, I'm a big burn it down person, but
But it
he's
exists
in this.
still.
This is
Right.
the system, and so I do want him to know how to navigate it. I do want him to know that these tests are stupid, but also they are a box that must be checked to drive,
Mm-hmm.
to whatever. I just don't want that to be his measuring stick for himself,
Right. Exactly.
right? For his value,
Honestly,
or
that's
huh?
why I don't have children.
Yeah, no, it's hard. And because like for me, I can just like write everything off and just be like, well, life is life and blah blah blah, and just try to I'm gonna try to really hard be in the moment so I don't have to think about any of that other shit. For an 8-year-old, that's not, it's different. And so
It's different.
Yeah.
it's different. And I wish I could just prevent his ego from building up so strongly. You know what I mean? I wish I could tell him like
Right.
that was dangerous and that hurt. That doesn't mean that every single time it's going to be that way. So let's just be open to people and other things. But anyway, there's that. And then I just want to say that I'm in IT, and I work at one of an amazing firm. It's one of the best rated firms when it comes to defense industry, as far as like a culture, taking care of people, taking care of social justice issues. I'm in the system. I'll call it that. I was government, and I'm still in this system, in this box that I don't really necessarily always agree. I mean, I definitely don't always agree with, but it's not awesome. But it's how I have a home. It's that. But when we interview people, this is where I'm going with this about what they know technically versus who they are. When we interview people, it is big time about, are they a nice person? I mean,
Right.
way more important that they're nice, that we can talk, that if there's a problem, that they're not going to freak out and like throw something or yell or be mean. If I make a mistake, they're not going to be that way, that they're a team player. And then I can teach them how to do cybersecurity. It's like that, which is crazy
Right.
because technical stuff seems so difficult, and I don't care. I can teach someone how to do the technical stuff if they have an average
But you
level
can't teach
of
them
brain
those
power.
soft skills. Right.
I can't teach them those soft skills, and I need people that are going to be team players and collaborative and resilient and patient and that kind of stuff is what I'm looking for. And so it's so interesting who gets hired and who doesn't.
Right.
And so yeah, those soft skills are just, and I mean it, like I work at one of the best companies in the United States that does what we do, and those soft skills are prioritized well above technical skills. We want them to be technically capable. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I'm saying like they have to be able to be on our team. We have to be able to talk to them again tomorrow.
Yeah.
The next day, and the next day, and the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
that's so cool.
Yeah. It makes me remember this.
Another thing that I want to add is that all the publicity commercials, TV commercials, and all that stuff, it's against us, right? It's like
Right.
creating needs for everything. Like you cannot fulfill your life if you don't have specifically that car or that perfume or that. That's just nonsense,
Yes. Yes.
And it
Yes.
will not
Right.
make anything better. it might make things worse.
It's like a Band-Aid. Band-Aid, but it works, but for a little time. But I think that's why this marketing works, because it actually finds the weak spots of people, their pains, and they just like, poke right there, so that way they can make people impulsively buy something, because they know that a lot of people don't understand that they're unhappy and why they're unhappy, because we're trying to hide the real reasons, and our psyche tries to do that to preserve and protect itself. So yeah. Paul, I also gave you a megaphone. You were going to say something.
I'd like to continue to be defiant and to say, you have to know what the rules are and follow the rules before you can break the rules.
Yeah.
I'd just like to feel.
True.
And to have
You're
power
not breaking
to
any.
Sorry. Go. So sorry.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm okay. I'm no longer defiant.
Saying what you were saying too, like to have power to deconstruct the stuff that we're talking about, right? You have to have been successful in that system. Or I'm talking about the American system in particular. Like to be able to affect change here, you have to
be able to
have
affect change.
You have to have been successful, and then you can be in a position where you can affect change to make that struggle, the stuff that you're successful in spite of, make that easier for other people. So that way they're not doing so much in spite of the system. And
or at least you share some of that secret sauce with them,
Yes. I had to teach a young person the other day game face. I wasn't calling it that. I was saying, show up professional. You're the most professional person in the room. He's like a frat boy, honestly. He's really smart, but he's wild. And, I say that, and then he's like, fine, I'll be a robot. And his other boss says, well, how about game face? Keep your game face on. It took us 4 months to get this guy to show up to work and not be ridiculous. I don't know, not spit dip in the cup in front of everyone. Like that kind of stuff. I was like, oh my God, no, on client, like at the client site. So we've been like really struggling, but game face is what taught him that. And I think we need to raise ourselves and everyone to understand that game face. So, and he's gotten that, and it's crazy now. But to have that game face and to be able to work, like, just get through the system successfully, and just you have to understand it anyway.
The way, go ahead.
So to me, game face is like, so at work, my game face is very business, professional, especially if I'm in, like, with my client. Oh my goodness, it's like this, and this. They might say, well, I'm thinking that we could do the stupidest thing in IT ever, right? And then I have to keep my game face on and say, okay, let me research that. I think that another option might be this, and it's a little bit better than that because of this. But in my head, I'm like, geez, man, like your whole job is like to do
you had one job.
Like, your job is not to do this to the network. It's going to be screwed up and it will not be secure and whatever, But being able to game face is how we present ourselves. That shows that we have complied, or that we are, we've conformed to the system, even if we haven't.
Right.
Like, even if we haven't, it's like code switching, or the way that
code switching.
the way that we present ourselves in different environments that allow us to be credible in those environments.
I think it's more like when I put my suit on and I go act like I'm an official, right? I'm really Mr. Savage. So I think more of it's like that.
I think in psychology they say like an effect of uniform, like as if you put on some role. Got it. Thanks for explaining. Actually, I was going to ask, and thanks to Paul, he asked. I'm like, okay, let's just listen to that. Okay, so thanks for explaining.
The way that we get credibility within a group, like every group that we're in. I went yesterday, and I'll stop talking. Go ahead. Well, I want you to talk because I'm talking too much.
Yeah, esoteric student.
When I go out,
let me give you a megaphone too.
And I'm perceived that when I approach people, because I'm an insurance broker. I've been doing this for 7 years, very knowledgeable. But when I'm wearing my my fucking sweatsuit on and got my tattoos all showing, I'm perceived very differently than when I have my suit on. But when I have my suit on, it's different. Like it's literally like putting a cape on and turning into Superman, like the way you're perceived. So, if that's what it takes to be successful in the system, that's the same thing I tell all my students. Like you don't have to fake it till you make it, even if you're not that type of person. Yeah, it's wow.
Your customers. You don't
Yeah, I don't go. Yeah, I don't go rapping. Yeah, I don't go rapping to my customers. I don't. I don't go tell them all the stories I have or anything. I play the role of I'm an official. This is what I'm here for. I don't like doing it, but I have kids. I got bills and shit. I got to make a living in the world. I hate being compliant. I try to do it my own way, but that's what it takes.
The other day in
No.
England. She had pink hair.
Right.
And okay, but she couldn't take notes properly. Were the two connected? I don't know. I think so, but there again, rolled up with pink hair. She wasn't taking proper notes. No, it did. I did make the connection. I know correlation isn't necessarily causation. But I think it is.
Well, stereotypes
I
are
love to dye my hair pink, and I'm a complete professional. I'm good at notes, but I have to take notes. I don't know, but it's changing. I think COVID really changed a lot of that. Honestly, because everyone's been, so many people are at home, and now even like there's people at my firm that have like one of the girls has green hair, and I'm like, would she go in front of a client like that? And I don't know. But I'm hoping that the clients would also that they've also grown. I don't know either.
Yeah, but at least you can use VR avatars to have pink hair to compensate.
Wow.
I spotted something the other day, and so with vaping, especially in America, the disposable vaping devices, and the kids and parents are moaning because these juices and things and products are marketed towards children. The only reason that those people know that it's marketed to children is because of the shit that's marketed to children that they haven't picked up on, like the sugar and the sweet, all that. And it's like, well, why are you upset about one thing marketed kids that you only know is marketed towards kids? Because the rest of the rubbish is marketed towards kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Emotions.
A bit weird.
I believe the FDA is taking all the nicotine out of cigarettes. I think I've heard that.
No.
Oh yeah.
I promise you.
Yeah,
Yeah, my vape is full on Nick, and it's everywhere. I could get one anywhere.
Yeah. That's what I heard.
I do not smoke cigarettes, but my vape is everywhere. They're not going to take the nicotine out.
Fingers are crossed.
As men,
They need to like open more things up, not close more things. That's just my opinion.
I have to mute you guys. Goal boy, sorry, I had to mute you. And Osman, I'm gonna do the same because you have a little bit of an echo.
They have an echo.
Yep. You can use your headphones and it's gonna be great. If you don't have them, just mute yourself when you don't speak. That's really polite. Thanks. Okay, a goal boy is also from
I got a question.
some interesting location.
Do we find happiness? Where are you? Where are we? This is for everybody individually. Like, where are you finding your happiness? Are you finding it from the conformity, or are you finding it from the freedom in your life? Just curious.
Freedom. Scotland.
Find it in. Who's answering? Or do we want to go one at a time?
Let's put into camps like so. Yeah, this camp is gonna be for freedom.
Okay.
Yeah.
This side, this side is for freedom. This side
Where's
is
the
for
middle?
conformity.
The world
We do
is the middle.
All right.
Middle?
Yeah, the world is
The global?
The world, the little circle.
I'm in the
here.
middle.
Yeah, right here. I'm over here.
Okay.
I like.
Is the freedom? Oh, I'm confused.
I'm middle. Where's middle? Where's in between freedom and?
Right.
Okay, you're in between, so this part is gonna be like
I'm
closer
on
to this.
freedom.
Yay,
I've literally cut
freedom,
everything out of my
freedom,
life.
freedom.
Literally,
Hands
no
up.
more responsibilities.
Cool.
And free to do whatever the hell I want.
Yes. Freedom is important.
That makes me happy.
Yeah, I imagine myself as a bird sometimes.
Your
So
freedom
And not
to
be asked
wave your
So-
wrist
responsibilities anymore.
is a bonus.
yeah.
as a parent, like as an adult, I find my happiness comes from conformity because it's stuff that I control, keep my kids and my family safe. So I feel very happy when I have control or when the system's working properly, right? I also am happy when I'm out riding my motorcycle or I'm out, just hanging out on the beach, So
Yeah, I
I'm
got your
happy
message.
controlling the
Like,
system.
I'm driving a motorcycle. I'm gonna join a little bit later. I'm like, oh my goodness, that's such a Mendes. I wish I could be
I
you.
was out all night. I was out like 8 hours last night riding my bike, so I overslept.
Holy shit. Cool.
And I got a big 1400 Honda, or Suzuki.
Japanese best bikes, best vehicles. Yeah, cool. I didn't expect you to be on conformity side. Yeah, this is a big dilemma.
No, I didn't either.
Unexpected
I
twist
would think freedom initially, but yeah, I came over here like I think
in the
I'm
middle.
definitely maybe closer to conformity,
Right.
but I also like the freedom.
Yeah.
You would have
Yeah.
asked me right away, I would have said freedom.
Uh?
I did say freedom, and I was like, hold on, I need to get back
Well,
over here to a little bit of my comfort
I think
zone.
having the like the to fulfill the needs of your children makes your point of view totally different that if you don't have, or not just if you have children, but perhaps when your kid it gets older and goes out of the nest, your point of view is going to change perhaps, like it doesn't be, it's not the same all the time. Like we can go from one point to another.
Yeah, that's what exactly you did. I'm like, oh, Cornelius is here, and he's gone the next minute. He's like, I'm on conformity side. Bye bye. Okay. Yeah. I think.
And then, yeah, it's topic specific or issue specific or idea specific, probably.
Got it. Yeah.
What you want to do.
I think this is
Find a
a
way.
big dilemma. It's been a big dilemma for me. I wanted to recommend you guys, if you haven't seen this film that is called Fantastic Mr. Not Mr. Fox. It was something different. Mr. Fantastico. This is the name. Let me double check if it's the same in English. It's about a guy who lives in the forest with his kids. They're like 4 or 5 kids, like a big family. And Mr. Fantastico, let me just Google it. It's like Viggo Mortensen, I think, was the main actor. And it's like about this dilemma for me to be part of the society and be like everybody else, or to be different and to be free. And it's been a dilemma for me my whole life. And I think I've been choosing to be free, but not fully. I was trying to be like free, like, how do I say? Like, if you imagine a Overton window of what's normal, I was trying to be at the very edge, but inside that, conformity range, within that range.
Andy, I think you should point out you are in Russia.
Yes, I am. And I'm in Caucasus, which is even more. Uh-huh. Go ahead.
I think
Go ahead, Paige.
my parents didn't my parents were their parents were very poor, and then my parents were, they had some upward mobility, but I would say that they were just kind of they were rough, so they didn't conform. They did to some degree. They got jobs and stuff like that, but there were a lot of things where they didn't conform. They were hippies and they just
Woohoo.
I don't know if it was deliberate. I think as they got older and had kids, they wished they had conformed more.
Right.
And then they hadn't. And so for me, so whenever I was growing up, there was a lot of instability. I went to 15 schools. We moved around a lot. There was, they were not happy. So there was abuse. There was a lot going on. And
Right.
there's comfort in not having to worry about some of those. Not conforming can make it where on our hierarchy of needs, where we were right there at the bottom, just to have food and water and home. And so I think that conforming keeps me feeling somewhat secure, even if I hate the system. I prefer having the comfort of stability. And I'm also very lucky I'm a white woman. I don't know if lucky is the right word, but I'm privileged. And so there's a lot of the struggles that I don't have to deal with. It is the way it is. So maybe my perspective is a little bit different, but like for me, conforming keeps me a little bit safer. It makes me feel like my child will be more safe, and I wasn't raised with that security. So having it is really important to me now. But
I think you're right.
Mhm.
on the freedom side, I think it might just be I'm trying to free my mind a little bit. I can't control the government, not as an individual anyway. Maybe anyway. So I don't know. Just how can I free my mind of the critique that comes from that system, or how can I get rid of some of the fears that are not real or not based on reality? The things I can do, dye my hair pink, for instance. There's still things where I'm like, okay, why can't I do that? I'm not in the military anymore. Why don't I just dye my hair pink or green?
Yeah.
Like
In their limits.
this lady has balls of steel. She works like in a super professional environment, and she dyes her hair green. And some people, might judge her on that, but she still does it. And I'm just like, man, I want that freedom.
Yeah,
It's not freedom
right.
to break free from the system more. It's freedom for myself.
Yeah, freedom to be yourself.
Freedom of expression.
To be myself. And just to be brave and not worry about what people are going to think or how they're going to judge me, because that's not my problem. I just I want freedom from myself. I want freedom to be myself. That's where I'm over here.
Yay.
The conformity keeps me safe.
I mean, particularly for children, I would say stability is very important. You've got no stability when you're young. Yeah.
The work to get where I'm at was a lot, and I don't want my son to have to work that hard.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't want my son to have to work as hard as I did, I don't want him to have those fears.
And it certainly affects the personality.
It's really important to.
Thank you.
I was just going to support this point of view that for kids it's really important to be in a stable household, because it really affects their health, their mental abilities, their everything. Is just like epigenetics actually shows that a lot of child's development depends on the family, whether they have all the opportunities for development, those games, safety, like good treatment from parents and all that. That actually affects the way children develop and what their mindset is and all that. And I like the way Robert Sapolsky says. He's a biologist and like a primatologist. He's a neuroscientist also. He says, if you want to have a good, a gene environment, play, please, how do we say? I don't remember how to say that in English, but he says please do the hard work of being born in a good family, like in a rich family, because it's going to help you, to reach your full potential of genetic.
Right.
Yeah.
Sapolsky from Stanford.
Yes, exactly. He says, please do the hard work of being born in a rich family. So that's really important on all levels. I think it's there, but we try to ignore it. But at the same time, I think it really affects that feeling of safety, of support, of the thing that my family is not worse than everybody else, and we're not as maybe poor as everybody else. So that really stresses kids out.
So contentment would arise from a stable base, basically, like.
Yeah, I think so. We can't ignore that. You can be an exclusion to the law, to the rule, but the rule is pretty much there. It's like if you have, there's like a Maslow's pyramid. This is one of the best ways to example. And I think once you have the basic stability, the safety, food, something that provides your basis, I think that's where you can just step on the next level. Yeah. Transcend. Not so quickly. Yeah. Oh my goodness, we're 10 minutes over.
Something.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we got 10 minutes over.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
perhaps
Cornelius.
one of the most difficult things to teach my kids, or the things that I want for my kids, is to be skeptic and at the same time the ability to be happy.
Yeah, loving skeptic.
Skeptical and happy is kind of difficult.
It is.
Right.
Oh, it is
Sometimes the
so
skepticism
true.
can breed paranoia, or they don't
Or
perceive it.
criticism,
But
devalue.
I don't want kids that they just aligned with the system. I want kids that they can play with the system. They can
Right.
feed when they need to feed, or
Yeah.
they can
Or to think for
question
themselves.
Yeah.
They have to
yeah,
think for
exactly.
themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but the
Skeptical
beginners, they have to
optimism.
be able to think.
Yeah, yeah.
That's difficult. That's really difficult.
That is. Yeah, so we are officially into our after party mode. So you can stay and talk about whatever you want. It's the space is gonna be free, but new people are not gonna join anymore because the event is officially over at 7 o'clock, Russian time. What time is it, by the way, in your countries? In the UK, Paul?
12 p.m. for
10
me.
past 5. I got 10 past
9
5 in the
a.m.
afternoon.
Okay. Yay! Good
Nice.
morning, rise and shine. Yeah. Yes, it's. I see a beautiful sunset in my window, so I'm gonna try to catch its late tail on my balcony. So yeah, I'll see you next week. Hopefully, if everything is good, I'm happy to see you guys and see you again. I think I'm gonna keep this.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
Yeah, Mendes. I think I'm gonna keep this hour and a half timing. What do you think?
Oh, was it an hour and a half? I thought
Yeah.
we were doing an hour.
We did an hour,
Half hour.
but I think like 2 hours was more
Do
pleasant
an
for me.
hour. Yeah, 2 hours was really good. But as summer is, I don't want
Yeah, that's why this is
whatever,
like a
we can talk about it.
compromise. So
It depends on the subject, surely. Depends on the subject.
Yeah, definitely on the subject. Maybe do like an hour and then the 30-minute after party.
I mean,
and just put it
do
on the
the
thing.
pod, we
Like
can
we're
do
gonna
3
aim for
hours.
an
Oh, we
hour.
have fun on that one.
Well, we've done 3 hours. We've done the 4 hours. So
yeah. I'm probably
Alright.
probably I'm gonna put the hour and a half, and you can just say that if you need to leave, you can just leave after 1 hour. It's totally fine. I just enjoy this longer like
yeah,
lifespan.
I really liked it longer too.
Yeah, yeah.
And if anybody wants to participate, help us out. You want to, help.
Could you
lead
turn
these
the
events,
flight
just
on, please?
speak up,
Oh, yeah,
speak up
sure.
in
I
Discord.
want to get a selfie in front of your screen, but I
guys for
can't get
coming.
it without the.
Yeah. Let me do that. Flight, toggle flight. Okay,
Thanks for
try it.
participating. We believe that having nice open conversations will help push the narrative that we all can
Yeah.
work together and find unity in the world. So
Does it
just
work?
keep
It's a
coming.
pity we got no Chinese, though.
I know.
Nobody from China.
Mendes!
We
No
did at
Africa.
1-1.
Yeah, and the guy, somebody was from also from that region, but he was gone soon. Mendes, can you turn on the flight? Is it turned on?
I don't know.
How do I
I
do
can
that?
fly.
Well, you were the boss, that's why. Yeah, he's gonna. Yeah, that would be amazing. By the way, guys, I record events and I upload them to my YouTube channel, so you can check it out. There's an address for it somewhere over there. Yeah, Aussie Limitless Mind. I think you can find it on YouTube. Yeah, and Mendes. Anybody who, if you have some extra pictures of me or like the event, please post it on the website or send it my way. I'm gonna really
Yep.
grateful.
Our socials are over there too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You can find us on Instagram.
Yep.
To the right.
Any thoughts? Any thoughts what it's going to be next week, Azzy? Or
Let's decide. You give me good ideas. Maybe you can have some. What would you like to talk about, Paul?
I don't know.
I think we had a lot of things that I was going to postpone. You had a lot of good ideas, and I was
Here,
trying
this
to.
is me.
Yeah.
I'm this guy
This
right
is me. Na, na, na. Huh? Sure.
Well, I'm gonna go, everyone.
Did she message you, the
Hey,
girl
have a
that was
good day,
here earlier?
Marlo,
Did she message you the name of the...
Let me check. I don't
the
remember.
channel?
I don't remember. I think she said
What's up,
Ashley or.
It was a weird name, and she said she was going to message it to you, but I don't know what she was saying.
Okay, let me check it out. Okay, so let me finish the recording first.
Well, let me add you too.
Yeah.
I'll have you at it. Hey, Caligula.
Ah,
Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you. Oh, guys.